Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome into the Thanksgiving edition of Exiles TV. This program will repeat again on Thanksgiving Day, unless Pelican Broadcasting has parade plans or something, but we welcome you.
They're going to Photoshop in a pilgrim suit for me and a turkey suit for you.
I was thinking because, Thanksgiving is supposed to be when you first start seeing Santa Claus. Remember the Macy's parade would always end with Santa Claus. I actually thought about wearing my Santa Claus suit, but then I thought, no, I'd look like an idiot, so no.
I think you should wear it. I just think you should save it. Like maybe...
For the Christmas show.
Yeah.
The Christmas show.
Or the Friday before, so that we can see if we get any requests for you to wear it the rest of the day.
Yeah. Nobody is going to do that. You kidding?
I'm telling you right now, I'm not wearing an elf outfit. I'm telling you that.
Come on, man. How about if I get you a hat? Will you wear a hat?
What kind of hat?
Just a little Santa's helper hat,
No.
How about if we put some decorations on your fedora?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Listen,
if
we could find a lighted hat band for my fedora, I might do that.
We begin the show on kind of a heavy note.
Yeah.
A gentleman who well known here in the Baton Rouge area and in Lafayette as well, the proprietor of Ruffino's restaurant, Ruffin Rodrigue, and Ruffino's on the River in Lafayette as well, has died. Very little else is known. Ruffin was a standout at LSU, had a football career at LSU. He got into the restaurant. You remember that restaurant in Baton Rouge on Highland Road was Jerry DiNardo's restaurant. Mm-hmm. And then when Jerry DiNardo was no longer a thing, Ruffin got involved in it.
Well, T.J. Moran opened it.
T.J. Moran, yeah. And the late T.J. Moran, God rest his soul. But the name Ruffino's got hung on the restaurant, and Ruffin Rodrigue became associated with it and has operated it for a good long time. Very popular, very excellent.
He and Peter Sclafani were partners, and I guess it was about a year ago that he bought Peter out, and Peter is now involved in other restaurants here in Baton Rouge.
But Ruffin Rodrigue was 52 years of age, and hearing about his death comes as quite a shock. And needless to say, he will be missed by many, many people, sports fans and fans of good food.
He was always a hail fellow, well met, as they used to say. He always took time in his restaurant to come and say hello. Very
vicarious host at the restaurant. He was not vicarious. What's the word I'm looking for? Vivacious. Thank you very much. But he was just the life of the party, and it's just a shock to hear at 52 years of age that he's no longer with us. So God rest him.
Yeah, we have no other details for you at this time.
Yeah, the circumstances of his death. Was he sick? We don't know anything more that we can share with you at this time, but we'll miss him. I know Bill will miss him, and a lot of sports fans are going to miss Ruffin Rodrigue. God rest his soul.
So again, all we know is that he passed away last night, and I'm sure as they have more details on visitation and things like that, we will pass them along. But what a shame, so very, very young. And you and I used to do ads for when he and Peter both had the restaurant, before Ruffino's.
Yes.
And we used to do them at Christmas time. Mm-hmm. And how poignant that this happens as we're like the eve of the official start of the Christmas season.
Mm-hmm. But it's sad news, and he will be missed. So, sorry to start your holiday weekend off with bad news. And for some of you, you may be like, who? But, because not everybody knows everybody. But still, this guy was a fixture. And
those of you in the New Orleans area know him and his dad, because his dad was a football star at LSU as well. Mm-hmm. Those of you in Baton Rouge, you've probably eaten at Ruffino's at least once over the last 10 or 15 years. Mm-hmm. And for those of you in Lafayette, Ruffino's on the River is only about, I guess, 6 or 7 years old, but it apparently is the most popular restaurant in Lafayette.
A huge success in Lafayette.
So
God rest him.
Yeah.
As we head into the Thanksgiving weekend, we're heading in with the governor returning us to phase 2 with, as I read it, it's not really all that much different from what we've been asked to do so far by the governor in phase 3, with just slightly more restrictions. So I was prepared to come in here and rail on the governor and call him the minister of misery and all this other stuff, but It doesn't look like it's, when you consider that we're outpacing lots of other states for the number of cases of COVID per 100,000. I guess it only makes sense to take some kind of steps to try to contain this thing. The question I have, Bill, and I don't base this on any knowledge of anything. It's just everything we've done so far seems to not work.
Except for 4 months ago, when we did the social distancing and all that, and we did drop it down. In fact, 5 days ago, I was looking at the map of the rest of the country, and we were the only state that was still not marked red. And I was like, okay, we still got a handle on this. Mm-hmm. And then everything kind of went to hell in a handbasket. I saw a chart yesterday that was provided by LSU's epidemiologist, physician, and he was showing the spreaders right now, the ones who are testing most positive in the highest percentage are the 19 to 25-year-olds.
The kids.
Young
adults.
We got a lot of colleges and universities.
Mm-hmm. And what's the one thing that we older folk always say about kids in that age group? They think they're invulnerable.
Yeah.
They think nothing can touch them. And while they may be less at risk of death from this virus, they still can spread it. They can spread it to people with comorbidities. They can spread it to older members of their family. And therein lies the danger. We're going to talk more about this. So who are the super spreaders? And where are the super spreader events actually taking place? Mm-hmm. We're going to take a quick break, first one of the hour, and Exiles TV returns in just a moment.
Taste the feeling.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Exiles TV. Thanks so much for being with us on this, the day before Thanksgiving. Is there such a thing as Thanksgiving Eve? I don't think so.
I think we're going to.
I mean, in the literal sense, of course, yes.
But, here we are. I think because Thanksgiving is not a religious holiday, it's a truly American holiday. I think that a lot of us are just tired as we go into this holiday. As we were, in 4th of July, we were looking forward to celebrating Thanksgiving. Because we were saying, all right, we're going to flatten the curve.
We're going to get this thing
We're going to
beat.
get this thing behind us, and we will finally be able to enjoy some portion of this really crappy year. And so I'm not condoning this, but I'm saying that there are just too many people, many of them saying, enough. I'm going to ignore it. And not just here in Lafayette or Baton Rouge or New Orleans, not all over the country. And now there are people that are already saying, you're going to take away Christmas too? That's the thing. People feel that the one truly American family holiday is being stolen from them. And whether they feel it's being stolen by COVID or by science
Or the
by the
governor.
governor or all of the above, it doesn't matter. They're tired of it. Fox News Channel had a big story just concluded about COVID fatigue and
The rule defiers.
And rule defiers.
Who are the rule defiers and why?
Thing is, we all of us, defy these rules at some point or another. And again, I'm not condoning it, I'm not recommending it, but you know what? I've got a memory like an elephant. And when I'm out there doing what I think is right for my fellow man by wearing a mask and washing my hands very frequently and not crowding up on somebody in a store, and I see a bunch of bozos that, you know, are spewing all over because they're talking so loud, that have no mask, they're throwing droplets everywhere, they're picking their noses and then grabbing things on the shelf. And I said, well, you know what? It makes no sense, because these guys or women, or guys and women, are the big danger here, not me. You know, it's kind of like when you were in class and there was always one Johnny Badass in school.
At least one.
Yeah, the minute sister, or for those of you who didn't go to Catholic school like I did, the teacher left the room and said, no talking while I'm gone. And there was always one kid that yep. And then the teacher punished the whole damn class. And I think a lot of us in the United States of America are getting tired of the teacher punishing the whole class.
So who are the Johnny Badasses out there? And we do know a little bit about who these super spreaders are and what some of these super spreader events. Now, it's easy to put these things off and say, well, parades are super spreader events. But we're having quote unquote super spreader events happen in East Baton Rouge Parish almost every weekend and on some weeknights, because people, sometimes not so young people, but younger, like to just gather in a parking lot or an empty lot, and somebody will have a super cool car stereo, so they open up the trunk so they get that bass blowing, and they have themselves a little impromptu party. And we've seen it happen again. It's happened on Plank Road. We've had police break up these impromptu parties that happen. We've had one on River Road not so long ago. And it was 200, 300, 400 people all gathered. And of course, they're not wearing masks, and they're not practicing social distancing. And they weren't necessarily committing a crime either. They were just trying to have a good time.
Well, this very morning, I noticed on my way to our podcast that my fuel gauge was very, very low. I'd kind of lost track of it. So I pulled into a gas station that is very near LSU on Burbank, okay? And there were not one, not two, but three young males, all LSU students, okay? And they were like, well, I'm not hanging anymore. I got to go home for Thanksgiving, but I got to shower first because I'm still all sweaty and stinky from the party last night. I said, yeah, I was there too. I never saw you. And the third one was like, well, I went to a different. They're all having end of school for vacation parties. And you know what? I'm guessing that these 19-year-olds are not standing 6 feet apart. I'm guessing they're not wearing masks. And the data from the most recent testing shows that 19 to 25-year-olds have got the highest gross number of positive tests right now in Louisiana. I'm not picking on them. when I was in that age, I would probably be doing the same damn thing after 10 months of this.
But we didn't have a highly infectious disease rampaging through the population and killing a small amount of us.
Well, it's like you and I talked on the podcast about mono. Remember good old mononucleosis?
Mononucleosis. When we were that was something to really be afraid of when we were kids in school.
Oh yeah, when we were in high school and college, and they'd put up kissing disease. Don't share cups, don't swap spit. And we were of that age, like, yeah. And I actually knew a couple people who got mono. Took them out of a whole semester of college. It was so bad. And it's still, we're still going to go with our friends of the opposite gender to parties. And if we got a little handsy and touchy, and a little kissy, we did.
Mono's not eliminated. Mononucleosis still goes through the population. Mm-hmm. It's an endemic disease that's part of our condition. We've just gotten to where we know how to recognize it and we know how to treat it. And this is what I'm saying. At what point do we go at COVID like this? We know how to recognize it. We know how to treat it. We'll soon have an inoculation for it. Can we please get back to some level of normalcy with life?
I think that is coming up, and I'm not so sure whether it will be from the top down or the bottom up, but I'm telling you that the dilemma with this is that you don't have enough state police, public health officers, National Guard to really, really enforce this.
No, it's purely voluntary.
And the thing is, if you really wanted to get draconian about it, you could look at that graph and identify where a lot of these people are, and you could quarantine them.
By the way, so what are they going to do if you flout the rule? What's governor and his people going to do if you flout the rules? I'm not suggesting you do.
I will speak badly of your family and I will fart in your general direction.
Well, are they going to put you in jail? Because you can't be in jail because we had to let people out of jail because we were afraid they'd get COVID-19.
Well, and the governor is on record as saying that we're not going to arrest our way out of this. That goes back to March.
I was going to say, that was 8 months ago. He may be feeling differently these days.
Too late. He's on the record.
Yeah. But hey, a girl can change your mind.
Well, I understand the situation everybody is in, including the governor. But I also understand that you are not going to change behaviors of certain segments of our population, and that you're not going to have an effective mechanism to do any kind of enforcement or mitigation inside that population. I worked in an emergency room. People will lie their butt off. We would have somebody that had taken way too much of something, and they are circling the drain.
What'd you take? Nothing.
What'd you take? No, don't lie to me. I know you took something.
No, nothing.
I'm not a cop, but I could kill you if I give you this as opposed to that. You have to tell me what you took.
Nothing.
I didn't take anything.
Yeah.
And usually the people that were lying were in that 19 to 25 age group.
So,
did you go to a party last night before you came home to Thanksgiving, Kevin Jr.? Oh no, Dad, I wanted to be safe. And the stains are still on the front of his shirt because he didn't have time to change.
There's another aspect to COVID transmission that nobody has really talked all that much about, and that is COVID transmitted during sexual activity. Let's tease you with that, and we'll come back in just a moment. Quick pause, and Exiles TV returns.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
taste the feeling.
Surprise, something good has finally happened in 2020. Yours truly, the Clarence Buggs Show, gets to be with you every day of the week. That's right, 11 to 12 every weekday. And of course, the Exiles right in front of yours truly from 10 to 11, yours truly 11 to 12. So now it's appointment viewing. 5 days a week here on the Pelican. The Clarence Buggs Show. The only thing missing is you.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Right now, during the Team Honda Upgrade event, get a new 20 Accord Sport for just $309 a month with no money down, no first payment, and no security deposit. It's time to upgrade to your new Honda at Louisiana's #1 new car dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
That would mean semen of people who are recovering. So it's still an open question.
So Bill is just doing a little research during the commercial break.
I was talking about people who ride battleships, seamen.
Yes. We were wondering aloud during the commercial break about young people, college students, college-age people. They are at an age where they like to couple. They like to do the deed. They like to have the sex.
Do they?
And
is this a new development?
Bill
I don't remember that from
doing
college.
some quick research on whether or not COVID-19 is sexually transmittable. You'd think if it's in your spit, it would be in other body fluids as well.
Right. Here, this is from a university medical research department.
Okay.
Pretty good one too, University of Maryland.
Okay.
Here's the deal. Short answer. Can you get coronavirus from sex? Short answer is yes. And here is why. Okay. Here is why. You are nose to nose or nose to toes with the person that you're doing the deed with, and you are aerosoling all over them.
So
and
it's not all those sexual fluids.
It
it's
doesn't
just
have anything
breathing.
to do with the parts. But like if you're not breathing heavy, you're not doing it right.
Yeah. And you're probably no fun for your partner.
If you're not breathing heavy.
That was great, honey. I like that part where you moved.
Yeah.
So,
kissing, absolutely.
Well, but these kids are coupling up and making out and everything like that.
They don't even have to be having sex. They can just be kissing.
Making out, like I said. So, here's the thing. Are we just a couple old guys saying, it's those damn kids?
No, it is those damn kids. It's always been those damn kids. It was when you were one of those damn kids. It was when I was one of those damn kids. Maybe not Clarence, because he was a choir boy, but.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Clarence Buggs was a choir boy.
No, he actually was in the choir. I saw him.
Well, I was in the choir too, but believe me, I was no choir boy. You know.
Did you wear anything under your robe?
Occasionally.
See, because I didn't.
I had those, the pants that just come up above the knee, and
yeah,
that's it, just that.
The knee gaiters.
No, I'm joking, but. So,
how many ways can we say having intercourse? Let's see, we got doing the deed, knocking boots.
I always liked knocking boots. That one seems to be nice.
I never wanted to be with a girl that was wearing boots that would knock.
How about bumping uglies?
Bumping uglies, I like that one. I like that one.
How many different ways are there to completely de-romanticize what's supposed to be a romantic act?
Bumping uglies.
Oh my God. But are we on the wrong track here, or do we lay this on, the 19 to 25-year-olds for largely being the spreaders in our state? Whether they're college kids or not, young people are going to gather. They like to gather. It seems to me like the bigger the group, the better.
It's kind of in the nature.
It's more fun if there are 300 of you, you know. So
we used to hang out just for no apparent good reason.
Yeah, and hang out in by the dozens.
Oh yeah, big numbers.
And when we were kids, it was the same thing. You know, so-and-so had a kick-ass stereo in his car, and he'd pull it up, and he'd open the trunk, and we'd be blowing Leonard Skinner, you know, or Queen.
Now, so you
and
get
we'd
it
be
from
drinking
that.
warm beer, you know, because it was the best we could get. Somebody managed to get served underage, and we'd be like, you know, parked at a farmer's pasture and just take it over.
We were horrible about, taste this drink. Does it taste right to you? We were terrible about
here,
that.
man, have some of mine. Passing it back and forth, passing a bottle around if you had, you know, the hard stuff. How many times, you know, 8, 9, 10 people just passing the bottle around.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's as I said in a previous segment, there's this tendency of the young to think, not me, I'm invulnerable, it's not going to get me. And you're right, it may not get you, but it may leave you in a situation where you could transmit to someone else.
I mean, you know, the thing is, when you are of that age, this is what you do. You like to get up close to people, and again, there's so many factors. I mean, I don't know many adults that after having, and when I mean adults, I mean like middle-aged, that when they have 2 drinks, they go, I really like you, and they're spewing all over you. But, you know, give me a 22-year-old. It happens 400 times a day in every community in America.
I'm mad at you, damn it.
How come you don't like me?
Yeah.
You know, it's just, it's part of the deal when you're that age. Well, what are we going to do? Are we going to go to every college campus in this state, what are there, 25 of them, and lock these kids down?
No, but the thing is, no matter how much the governor says, don't do this, they're going to find a way around whatever the governor is saying to have their gatherings.
That's exactly what we're saying.
Now, there are virologists out there. I've read the works. This is not just Kevin's crazy ass opinion, okay? I've read the works. There are virologists out there that say we're never going to truly beat this thing until we let it go. In other words, and they
lots of antibodies in the community.
They advocate let's get a vaccine going, or maybe even more than one type of vaccine. Let's get as many people as are willing to inoculate. But as you know, with any vaccine, there are always those that just don't. Some people are scared to death of them. They think, oh, my kid will be born autistic or something.
They're putting a microchip in it.
Yeah, some people, like the people who believe in chemtrails and stuff, think that there's behavioral drugs. So there's going to be a section of the population that won't take the vaccine. There are people who still won't get the flu shot. And the flu shot is only, 60, 70% effective?
The one that they give those of a certain age like me is now up to like 80% effective.
But I'm all about vaccine.
But let me tell you, the real science on this is you get to 50%, that is considered use it. Go to it. But, you know, what you're saying is absolutely correct. If we get enough people to get vaccinated, and the vaccine is going to give them the antibodies, all right? And then those who don't get vaccinated, if they get it, they're going to have the antibodies.
Right.
And eventually you have what everybody likes to talk about. You eventually have herd immunity. You can't get herd immunity truly without vaccine in the population because there's just too damn many cases.
Now, and these virologists, they say as much. They say eventually we're going to have to relinquish control over the population and just let it happen and be willing to quarantine the sick so that they don't infect other people. But those that are apparently healthy, let it go and just let it run its course through the population, and eventually you'll have something like herd immunity. That's what trained virologists are saying. The other thing that I think is part of the alarming state of COVID-19 is, have you all noticed, nobody seems to die of anything else these days. Ever since March, everybody is dying of COVID-19. And I'm sorry, this is true. The state has federal dollars on the line for how they respond to and how many cases they deal with COVID-19. So the state has a a fiduciary interest in how they handle this disease.
And I would say in our state, we have been fair and equitable with it. We have not done what some states have done.
I don't think that, but we instead of releasing the COVID-19 numbers every week on television and, having Jaron Jordan or whoever's reading the news go, well, there's been this many tests and this many infections and this many deaths. Let's report on the deaths statewide, all of them, and what the cause of death was.
Well, what would that give you?
Perspective, Bill. Perspective.
On what?
You say 1,000 people died in Louisiana this week. Mm-hmm. Okay? 300 died of heart attacks. 17 were killed in car accidents.
But it doesn't change anything.
It gives you perspective. We're only being told about the people who die from COVID. And that's always going to look like...
Well, that's because that's what's being tracked.
But if you have perspective, people die. It's part of life that you die.
Well, but I know everybody, or can know very easily, everybody that died in an automobile accident in this state, because those numbers are always put out by the police agencies and covered in the media. No, once a week. I hear it. I see it. I can find it.
I think that if the media wants to set people's mind at ease about this thing, put it in perspective.
But they're not about setting people's mind at ease.
These many people have died of heart disease. These many people have died of cancer. Cancer's still the #1 killer in our state.
No, heart disease is.
Okay.
But just as bad.
But, I mean, we're treating COVID like it is the Black Death.
Well, here's the whole deal. The perspective that COVID is a 100% fatal disease is completely wrong. The way we treat COVID, or the reason we treat COVID the way we do, is because you have large numbers of people that need to be hospitalized at the same time with this disease. That has been the pattern, and it overwhelms the healthcare system. Here's the deal. I remember a big discussion about this 5 or 6 months ago, and this happened not once, not twice, but 3 times in New York City. Now, New York City, as big as it is not over-hospitaled. They have some very large hospitals, but they are spread out, and there's not that many of them for their population size. And you had 3 cases where somebody that was having a life-threatening heart attack died in the ambulance while they were waiting to get an intake bed at the emergency room. And that is a shame, but it is not. They say it's COVID related. Well, that's like...
Everything's COVID related.
Well, but that's like if you're the passenger in a car where, the driver is sober as a judge, dare I use that term in Baton Rouge, and you're drunk in the back seat.
In Baton Rouge, that's not necessarily.
And you're drunk in the back seat, and you get killed, it's still considered to be an alcohol-related death, and that is wrong. That is not the way to do things.
And that's what I'm driving at, is I'm sorry if I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I believe that there has been not complete honesty in reporting these numbers to us. Not just here in the state, but across the nation. There has not been complete honesty. And back in the summer, on the CDC's page, they released data under the tab COVID-19 and under the sub-tab comorbidities. Mm-hmm. And they put it out there, the CDC put it out there themselves. When you remove the people that had comorbidities and might have died anyway within the next 6 to 8 months, we come down to, are you ready? A little over 9,000 direct COVID-19 deaths, where the virus itself was the cause of death, not the virus aggravating a situation that already existed.
But that's still legitimate scientific reporting, because what you're saying is you want the argument, well, if Grandpa had boobs, he'd be Grandma.
I'm just saying they're using 250,000 deaths in the United States to scare the crap out of people.
Well, maybe it's scaring you. I find it to be enlightening to know, and if you have diabetes as a comorbidity and you're in the ICU because you have COVID, and that has aggravated your diabetes, you are still dying because of COVID. That is why you are dying.
No, you're dying because you have diabetes. If you didn't have diabetes, the COVID might have only made you sick.
But see,
how many people do we know?
You just proved my point.
How many people do we know that have recovered from this thing?
I know 3.
I know of 7.
Yeah.
that have recovered from this thing. One of them said he didn't even get all that sick.
Yeah, but none of them had obesity, diabetes, high blood
Exactly.
pressure.
That's what I'm saying. Your comorbidity is what was killing you.
But the deal...
And the flu could have taken you out.
But if I go into the hospital for another heart surgery, God forbid, if they have to take me into the hospital for another heart surgery, and if I don't have it, I'm probably dead within 3 months, right? And I get hepatitis from a needle that wasn't sterilized properly while they're doing my prep. I don't die from the heart disease. I die because of the hepatitis, and the hepatitis was worse on me because of my underlying condition. But it's still the hepatitis that killed me.
I still think it's irresponsible reporting. We are pumping up, we're exaggerating the deaths, we're counting people. My God, in the state of Florida, 6 people that died in a traffic accident were counted as COVID-19 deaths.
That's just stupid.
That's just salacious. That's wrong.
Stupid.
That's wrong.
But,
and that's because hospital administrators, people, federal money.
Well, hospital administrators have no control over that.
No, it's governments.
Yeah. But Bo Clark...
And I apologize to hospital administrators.
Bo Clark publishes every week the deaths by COVID that his office has personally examined. And he eliminates all the deaths that are not from COVID from his reporting. So I know at least in East Baton Rouge Parish, we are getting the straight poop. Now, I can't speak to what health authorities in other parishes are doing.
Now, when you factor in the fact that we should take a break, you want to take it right here, or should I make this point and then
Make
go?
the point.
Right now, Louisiana is about 3 times other states as far as number of cases per
capita,
100,000. Yeah. Number of cases per 100,000. We're at about 3 times the rate. Is that because we're spreading at 3 times the rate, or is that because we're reporting at 3 times the rate?
Well, let me tell you this about statistics.
You can make them say anything you want.
No, that's not what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that in a nation of 340 million people, and I realize, don't get mad at me, I realize you have to have some standard for measurement. Per 100,000 when it comes to a virus is a stupid reporting measure. I know you have to have one. What you should do is simply report your number of positive cases and your number of hospitalizations. And here's why, okay? There are, 3.5, 4 million people in Louisiana? Something like that? All right. So we only get...
A little over, it's like 4.3 million.
So we only get 40,000, right? You go to New York that has a population of what, 45 million?
Roughly.
You get 400,000. Okay, do a little math in your head here. It's kind of like the old rating system that we used to have for radio called Arbitron. It's now called Nielsen. The same people do TV ratings. But they used to, for a city, an area of Baton Rouge with in excess of 500,000 people, they used to put 2,200 ratings diaries out. And then they'd come back and they'd say, hey, 20% of the people in this whole listening area listen to www. It is statistically accurate but not reliable because the sample size is too small. In this case, of the per 100,000s, okay, the sample size for a state our size is too large. I know you have to have a yardstick, but that particular figure is meaningless to most people. You know why? Because it doesn't take into account how many people are out and about, how many are not, how many hospital beds you have, how many physicians you have treating. The raw number is good enough. You don't need the per 100,000 number in a state like Louisiana and use it to compare to a state like Texas. That's the problem with the way they're reporting this. And you know what? The media, they're not intelligent enough in large measure to ask the right question about what does that really mean? Because they think it means the same as the number from New York or Texas. in Mississippi or Alabama or Louisiana. And it really doesn't. Just report the raw numbers. The raw numbers are what they are, and that's the best thing to report. All right, take a brief break. We'll be back in a moment on Exiles TV.
Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
By all standards, he is a champion for consumers. Because of Public Service Commissioner Eric Scrametta, our utility rates are 35% less than the national average, the lowest in all of America. He saved ratepayers over $8 billion. Commissioner Scrametta brought us more reliable power plants and energy-efficient solar fields. Public Service Commissioner Eric Scrametta. Keep the commissioner who keeps our rates low.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Get high big ones there too.
They're the same as Baton Rouge.
Welcome back, Exiles TV. Glad to have you along with us this morning. This is the day before Thanksgiving. We've been talking about some heavy stuff. What I'd really like to talk about is, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? Have you altered your plans?
Yes.
Have your plans been altered by somebody else? And put the number on the screen if you want to call in and let us know what you're doing. We would be happy to hear from you. This is a live program, and we do take your phone calls. And I don't remember the number. You remember the number?
It's been so long since I've said it. There it is. Thank you, Jonathan. 831, or Katie, whoever put that up there. 225-831-1029. Have you made any significant alteration to your Thanksgiving plans?
Yeah.
Especially based on the governor's announcement yesterday. Have you, based on the governor's announcement yesterday, did you disinvite anybody?
No, well before the governor's announcement, we have a group of us that watches the LSU football games together, and we end up having Thanksgiving together, and then some. Okay. Well before all of this, we decided that we would limit it to it's just 10 of us, and we're going to set up 3 tables. Now, we're still cooking as if there are going to be 26 of us. I mean, we all realize that the way we've done in previous years, where everybody's sitting shoulder to shoulder at one long table, we're lucky we didn't all get flu, last year from that. So that is the only thing we've changed. We haven't had to disinvite anybody. But I will tell you, the annual Christmas party that Karen and I always throw, which gets in excess of 200 people in our home, is not going to happen this year. We asked a lot of our regular party goers. It's the first time in 34 years, by the way, that we're not having this party. We asked a lot of our regular party goers, and they said, don't have it. Don't have it. A lot of people are not going to show up. A lot of us wouldn't feel comfortable about it. You go to a lot of time and trouble to do it, and no, don't have it. But now you changed your Thanksgiving plan, right?
Not really, because our Thanksgivings the last several years have been small gatherings, 6 or less. And that's exactly the same people who were with us for Thanksgiving last year are going to be with us this year. And they're not coming from a great long distance. They're just coming from across town. So no significant changes other than we're not cooking.
I wonder, I should check in. I've got some friends that have college-age kids, and some of them a great distance away. I wonder what they're doing. I wonder if they're calling their kids and saying, are you going to enjoy Thanksgiving in Illinois with your friends? Or are they saying, come on home? Man, if my kid was at the University of Iowa right now, I would be, are you crazy? Stay there. We will send you money. Stay there. Iowa is off the charts. Iowa is like the Wuhan province on day number 10 right now. But I mean, I wonder about people that have college kids that do not live in their home, that are in schools far away. I wonder what they're saying to their kids. I bet you nobody's telling their kids to stay home. They're just kind of stay away. They're just kind of crossing their fingers and hoping for the best.
Yeah, you just hope for the best. I can't imagine. Can you imagine a parent saying, no, hon, don't come home for Thanksgiving. It's too dangerous. You know, COVID.
But again...
Bill, I'm telling you, there is a feeling across the nation, and these people may all be wrong, but there is a feeling across the nation, especially in light of how the election worked out, that we are being lied to by them about a number of things.
Well, somebody needs...
And this is just the latest of a number of things that they are lying to us about.
Somebody needs to prove that in a factual way.
How do you prove you're being lied to?
Well, you can go in...
How do you prove a conspiracy?
You can go in and pull the patient census at Bellevue Hospital in New York and say, wait a minute, you told us you had 2,100 people hospitalized and you only had 80.
Democrats spent 4 years trying to prove a conspiracy in the 2016 election. You know what they came up with? Dick.
But see,
you can't prove a conspiracy.
But there are good records about health care.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're lying to us about hospitalizations and lab tests, I mean, there's a paper trail on all that.
Mm-hmm.
It can be proven. And the fact is, we don't have time in our lives for that kind of crap.
And
we really don't.
Again, I'm also allowing for this. The people, the non-believers, sure, some of them aren't the smartest people on the planet.
But here's the deal. A lot of these kids, as I told you earlier, a lot of younger kids may be telling their parents, I'm not coming home because I'm afraid to come to where you are. Because it's about a 50-50 split with young people. Some are like, give me another beer, and others are like, I don't want to go outside.
I did tell my mom just the other day, I said, listen, I'm hoping that maybe there's a vaccine before we get to see you at Christmas time, because I'd hate to think that any of us, me, Mary Ann, nieces, nephews, great-grandchildren, I'd hate to think that any of us could infect your 85-year-old self and speed your departure. So it's crazy.
We have to take a break.
Yeah, thanks. Let's do that right now. When Marty does this on the tabletop, that means break it, buddy.
See, I thought he was just practicing for his weekend gig as a conga drummer.
No, Marty's trying to help us stay on time.
He doesn't do that anymore? I hear he wears a loincloth.
Back in a moment with Exiles TV. Loincloth.
Caught spiders. Premier Pest Services.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer welcomes you to our biggest clearance sale of the year, the Happy Honda Days sales event. Get year-end clearance pricing on over 900 new Hondas, plus a complimentary lifetime powertrain warranty with every new Honda. Save thousands on your new Honda right here at Team Honda.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bugg Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Thanksgiving episode of Exiles TV. Tomorrow, you'll get to see this again. Won't that be fun? But we do want to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. There's still time to tell us if you've altered your plans. Or every year at Thanksgiving, we hear from somebody who is cooking something way out of the box. If you're cooking something real unusual, you still got time, 225-831-1029. I would love to hear it. Love it.
Can I share with you one of the things I'm thankful for?
What's that?
I'm thankful for you, Bill Profita.
Well, thank you.
You know by now that you're not everybody's cup of tea. You've been a media figure in this community, in this state for a long, long time.
I'm not everybody's cup of anything.
You're not well, there are those who love you, and there are those who think that you are just the worst. I was a fan of the Bill Profita Show on WJBO for years before I ever knew that I would be working in talk radio, much less working with you. And I knew and appreciated your show, but my perception of you as a radio show host was Bill's a lone wolf. Bill handles it all by himself. He doesn't need anyone. Well, as you know, after working for some months at Guarantee Broadcasting, they saw fit to make a lineup change, and they teamed us up. And I asked at that meeting where they were telling me, well, we're going to put you on mornings with Bill Profita. And I said, are you setting us both up to fail? Because I figured just you being a lone wolf, you would not want to work with a partner. And I had no idea how I was going to work with someone who had not worked with a partner. And so initially I thought, this is not going to work well. We had a rough patch the first couple, 2-3 months on the air.
Well, mostly just
getting each other's
people learning how to dance.
Yeah, getting our rhythms down, knowing when to shut up and let the other guy talk and stuff like that. And it was from both sides. But I got to tell you, it's been now a little over 6 years that we've been doing this together, and it's been, in my opinion, which I'm sharing my opinion, it's been the best 6 years of broadcasting in my career. I've enjoyed this last 6 years more than I enjoyed any period where I was a radio music DJ, work in rock, work in country, work in any of those soft rock, any of those formats. And I am thankful for you. I think that you are stimulating company. You are stimulating to share a microphone with. I like that you and I still get into arguments sometimes.
Well, that's part of it, but it's always good-natured and it's never malice. And I appreciate your kindness to me and your kind words. Every time I've had to leave a station or every time we have a Thanksgiving, I like to remind the people who watch or listen that we don't do this alone. So, of course, I am grateful for your support, which is always there, and for your banter and your interplay. But the people you don't see, the people who are in the control room right now, punching up cameras and working audio levels and things like that.
Their names appear at the end of the show, but
And Marty, who is keeping us on time and running all the cameras. And then when we did radio, we had people on the other side of the glass, and sometimes we would argue and fight like cats and dogs, but they kept us all going. So, and I appreciate you, even if you don't always agree. I have said from day one that I don't want everybody to agree with me. If everybody agrees with me, I'm doing something really wrong.
And that's boring.
Yeah. But to Kevin, my co-host, I hope that we have, until one of us dies, to keep doing this together. And I do thank you for your kindness, not just today, but every day. You guys have no idea how much hardcore production work Kevin does. I'm talking about sitting in front of the computer screen, putting things together that it would take me an eon to do. So thank you, Kevin.
Well, thank you very much, and I hope you and Karen have a wonderful holiday.
Same to you and Marianne.
Marty, Jonathan, Katie, Alan, all the production team here for Exiles TV, thanks to you as well.
Happy
and
Thanksgiving.
Thank you. We're thankful for you for watching.
God bless each and every one of you.
Take care.